Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. My name is Harish Kumar. Today we come to the letter I in Solid Design Principles, and this I stands for Interface Segregation Principle. Its name sounds little confusing, but don't worry, it is very easy to understand. The Interface Segregation Principle states that no client should be forced to depend on methods it does not use. What exactly does that mean? It basically says that an interface should not force a class to implement methods that it won't be using. So let's try to understand this with an example. Let's say we have a bird interface. So let's create this bird.php and interface bird, and this interface has method public function, let's say speak and walk and last fly. So this bird interface has three methods: bird can speak, bird can walk, and bird can fly. Now let's say we have a bird duck which is going to implement this bird interface. Let's create this duck.php and class duck, and this duck class going to implement bird interface. Now this bird has these three methods, so we have to create these three methods in this duck class. So method speak, and it returns start speaking. Next method is walk, and that returns start walking. Next method is fly, and it is going to return start flying. Okay, so this duck can speak, walk and fly. Now let's say we have another class of bird, that is penguin. Let's create this penguin.php and class penguin, and this class going to implement bird interface. Now let's create a required method for bird interface. So method speak, and it is going to return start speaking. Method walk, and that returns start walking. And last method is fly. Now here the penguin can speak, walk, but penguin does not fly. So this method is not needed in case of this penguin, but this bird interface has forced us to create this fly method, and that is the violation of interface segregation principle. An interface should not force a class to implement methods that it won't be using. So in that case, what you are going to do? Maybe you're going to return null, or maybe you're going to throw new exception cannot fly. Now here you can also see that this method has changed its behavior. Here it is throwing an exception, but if you see duck class, it returns a string. And if you have watched the previous video on Liskov substitution principle, then you can see that it also violates Liskov substitution principle as well. So what should be the solution here? Here we should split this bird interface into smaller and relevant interfaces. You can think of it as an interface should also follow a single responsibility principle. In other words, you can say interface should have single job. So here we are going to create three interfaces, which is going to be speakable, walkable, and flyable. So let's create this. So first speakable.php, interface speakable, and this interface has method public function speak. Similarly, we're going to create walkable interface, walkable, and this interface has this walk method, and next interface is flyable.php, interface flyable, and it has fly method, this one. So now what we can do, instead of implementing this bird interface, it is going to implement speakable, walkable, and flyable interface, and this penguin class going to implement speakable and walkable. Because penguin cannot fly, so it doesn't need flyable interface, and so we can remove this fly method from here. Now you may ask why we need this principle. The first reason is that if an interface has too many methods, then it creates confusion. If you are going to add a new class and implement the interface with the too many methods, you're going to be confused what to do with the methods they don't need. And the second reason is that maintenance becomes harder for an interface which has multiple methods because of the side effects. A change in an interface forces us to change a class that don't implement that interface. So you may ask that we should create interfaces with only one method. The answer is no. It depends upon your requirements. So when you are creating an interface, you should ask yourself, what are the most important methods required for the interfaces? And the unnecessary methods should not be the part of the interface. In the end, you are the developer and you know best where you can apply these principles in your project. Now you may ask that where is this principle applied in real life applications? You can see this in the Laravel application. If we see the post model, here it extends the model class. Let's see. Here you can see it implements multiple interfaces, arrayable, array accessible, can be escaped when cast to string, and so on. And if you see this interface, this arrayable has single method to array, and this interface has also one method, and this has broadcast channel interface has two methods. So in conclusion, the interface segregation principle wants us to design our interfaces in a way that doesn't force clients to use unnecessary method. Many specific skinny interfaces are better than a single fat general interface. This allows for more flexibility in code and will make refactoring much easier as everything adheres to a contract. I hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe us. See you in the next lesson.